Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, DwyerVIP.com for premium picks on Roku, Dwyer Boxing, and Dwyer Sports Betting. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. There is a fight that has caught my attention. As you know, here, we're looking to try to pick upsets, underdogs. We're trying to predict when titles change hands, when champions actually get beaten by contenders. I have a fight on my radar. It's happening this weekend. It's for the WBO super featherweight title, right? I like the challenger, Diego Magdaleno, to beat champion Rocky Martinez. Let's talk about it. You know, Rocky Martinez gave Ricky Burns all he could handle, right? Martinez is the kind of guy who brings it for all 12 rounds. Now, Ricky Burns won the fight, which was on Burns' home soil, right? And quite frankly, when you look at the tape of the fight, you're going to see that Ricky Burns physically is a lot bigger than Rocky Martinez. But what's impressive in the fight is the fact that Martinez keeps coming forward on Ricky Burns. Every time there's a momentary lapse, every time Ricky Burns takes his eye off the ball, Rocky Martinez is there, right? He is very persistent. Understand, he went into the Ricky Burns fight unbeaten. I have a lot of respect for Rocky Martinez, his attitude, his resilience. Here's the problem, and it's my bias. My bias could well be wrong, but I believe that boxing is like math, right? Your drive, your heart, your courage is only part of the equation, right? At some point, talent matters. At some point, you've got to show something other than determination to impress a skeptic like you and me, right? Well, let's just put it this way. Rocky Martinez strikes me as an energy guy. His edge is his energy, is his stamina, is his resilience, is his courage. He's prepared to put it all on the line. Where he doesn't have an edge is in his technique and, quite frankly, his talent level, right? He gets hit, in my opinion, too much. Right? I'm not a big believer in guys with granite chins who get hit on the chin a lot and who don't really learn to roll with punches and to avoid getting hit with punches. In other words, you show me a fighter like Brandon Rios, and I'm a skeptic because I believe that granite chin is granite while you're in your mid-20s. But as you get older, the headaches get worse. Suddenly you start getting concussions. Suddenly you start having problems, right? I've seen more than one granite chin get dented, right? That's the first thing. I think Martinez gets hit way too much. I think his defense has too many holes. The other problem I have with Martinez is that technique-wise, when he gets tired, every punch is thrown at a wide angle, right? Not a lot straight. He does have a pretty good uppercut up the middle, but too many punches are at a wide angle. So Ricky Burns in the later rounds of that fight, and Burns is a technician, Ricky Burns is able to literally just get inside on Rocky Martinez. Burns is walking in. Burns is not even concerned about getting hit up the middle with a jab. He knows one's not coming. So he's able to come inside and literally just have his hands out, block Martinez's shots. Occasionally, Martinez would get an uppercut in, but even that can be solved if you can get a hand bar down. You would block the uppercut, and if you have your hands up and your head tucked, you'd be able to block the outside shots, right? I think technique-wise, Rocky Martinez doesn't throw enough straight punches. The other problem I have is simply a talent problem. I don't see the blinding hand speed with Rocky Martinez, right? I don't see the elusiveness with him. And while his uppercut does have some pop, and while his career knockout percentage is actually decent, right? I don't see that devastating power punching ability. In other words, he's not a crisp power puncher. You don't see guys fighting him suddenly get hit with something and stiffen up, as happens with big punchers, right? Now let's talk about Diego Magdaleno. Now I don't know if Diego Magdaleno has Rocky Martinez's level of courage, right? Who knows? Martinez has been in wars. But life is unfair, right? Diego Magdaleno, in my opinion, the challenger, is the more talented fighter, right? He's a southpaw. He's a little shorter than Rocky Martinez, right? He just seems to me to do more. In other words, he comes in side profile, doesn't have a big knockout percentage, but yet the way he frames punches is so much better than Rocky Martinez, right? He's not a volume puncher like Rocky Martinez. He comes in, he's boxing you, setting up shots. Then he comes in with crisp punches that, in my opinion, are very pleasing to the judges, right? Magdaleno, unbeaten for a reason. His balance allows him to bend at the knees, right? Which is something Rocky Martinez doesn't really do, and which you need to be concerned about, since Martinez is already 2 inches taller than Magdaleno. Magdaleno's a southpaw. So think about it. He's coming in, side profile. He's already hard to hit. Now he's actually giving you movement, both above the waist and below the waist, right? Not just foot speed around the ring, but also a vertical game where he can literally bend down, right? And unlike Martinez, who is kind of like a steady, rate of work. Martinez is coming forward. Martinez is primarily a front foot guy. He's either getting hit or he's coming forward trying to hit you. Magdaleno is a little bit different. I prefer his fight style. Magdaleno can fight on his back foot. Magdaleno does have straight punches. He can hit you with jabs, right? Magdaleno isn't one of these guys who wants to show you that he can get hit and has a granite chin. Rather, he's the other type of boxer. He's the kind of guy who wants to be pretty. He doesn't want to get hit, right? This is the school of boxing where guys say, look at me, I'm as pretty as a girl, right? What Ali used to say, right? Magdaleno doesn't want to get touched, right? He would rather dole out the punishment than get out of dodge, back away, juke, have you miss, right? He doesn't want to be the guy who looks like he's been in wars and brawls. He wants to be the boxer who you're surprised to hear he's a boxer, because the guy's face looks untouched. Now, it's hard to bet against a high volume champion, right? You know that old saying, you have to beat a champ to take his title, right? Rocky Martinez has never been knocked out, right? Never. He's also high volume. What that means is There are going to be many rounds where he throws more punches than his opponent. So you can imagine that if you're dealing with weak judges who, are afraid to pick an underdog in a fight, you can imagine that when the champ comes out, is the aggressive front foot guy throwing more punches than his opponent, many judges are going to rubber stamp the round for the champ. Unless that champ is getting hit with so many clean counters, right, by a guy who knows how to work angles with superior technique, that it becomes obvious that the fight being fought is the fight the challenger wants to have happen, right? A really good counterpuncher who knows how to work the angles and who has you walking into stuff can literally look like he's putting on a boxing lesson. That's what I'm expecting Diego Magdaleno to do in this fight. Understand it's high risk. It's unlikely that he outworks Rocky Martinez. It is, right? But I'm expecting him to outbox Rocky Martinez. Martinez, quite frankly, has been in too many close fights. I personally believe he lost the Burgos fight. If you look on his record, you're going to see that there are many fights on his resume that were razor close. I believe his luck runs out this weekend. I like Diego Magdaleno in this one, right? Slick southpaw who works the angles, who throws the straighter punches, who frames the punches better, who lands clean counters. I'm taking him over the high effort volume champion. Understand though, it's a very risky play. Let me hear from you. Leave your comments for me here online. Visit us at gamblersadvisory.com and understand I do have a bias, right? I'm trying to beat the casino, so I don't want to take prohibitive favorites. What I want to do is take live underdogs. Of the fights happening this weekend, this is the one that's caught my eye the most. Okay, I like Diego Magdaleno over champion Rocky Martinez. Again, understand, we're picking the challenger over a champ who has only lost once, and that was to Ricky Burns in the United Kingdom. Let me hear from you. Good luck in the fights. Hope you visit us at gamblersadvisory.com. Thanks for stopping by.